Where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories this evening, let's have a look at what's happening in the headlines tonight. In the headlines tonight, former Archbishop Dr. Luke Orombi reminds Christians to walk in the light. Youths with disability in Moyo district receive startup kits. And Pakwach District holds belated Youth International Day. This and more in the NILE News Bulletin. It's the 28th of August 2024. You're most welcome to the NILE only on West Nile Television. Let's dive straight into the stories that have made headlines tonight. Retired Archbishop Church of Uganda, His Grace Right Reverend Dr. Henry Luke Orombi, has reminded politicians to always walk in the truthful light and shun the darkness of evil as they lead the people who elected them into office. Alfred Jawok reports more.
The retired Archbishop Church of Uganda, His Grace Dr. Henry Luke Orombi, has reminded politicians to always walk in the truthful light and shun darkness of evils as they lead people who elected them to office. While giving his sermon at Thanksgiving ceremony of Canon Dr. Maxwell Ugento on Saturday 24th August 2024, Orombi noted that any political leader who accepts Jesus Christ shall be lightened and have moral authority over leadership as light of the community.
Elect people and send them to the parliament. We are the ones who elected them. We are the ones who elected them. We should pray for them. We should help them. We should hold our hands together with them. And we should tell them the truth. So that when they are there, they speak on our behalf. And when they come home, we should ask them. We told you to say this and this, where is it?
Meanwhile, Canon Dr. Maxwell Ugento called for harmony and unity among Christians and asked the young generation to have self-respect as the school holiday starts. Dr. Ugento has called upon Christians to be the good messengers of peace, love, and unity. He said that families should be a bed of peace, not a battlefield, in order to grow and develop and eradicate poverty.
Ngoma ngomunelo mitundusha ngom fa nyalo kakai here kakai pakwara bakasha gi ugam yile ya ngele mabe ngomi je eka para bish ngomi ngomi ni kuni kumia keba ukwani yele foundation.
Canon Dr. Maxwell Ugento held a Thanksgiving ceremony after his successful retirement from a high-ranking government job. The Thanksgiving ceremony attracted politicians, civil servants, Christians, among others. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving on to Pakwach District, as Uganda celebrated the National Youth Day in Soroti on the 12th of August 2024, Pakwach District held its International Youth Day on the 23rd of August 2024 at Panyumu Primary School playgrounds with the aim to protect the environment. Take a look.
As Uganda celebrated the National Youth Day in Soroti District on 12 August 2024 for Pakwach District, it was held on 23rd August this year at Panyumur Primary School playing ground. During the celebration, Honorable Abdullahi Wadrif, the district youth chairperson, has called upon stakeholders in Pakwach District to support and identify available opportunities for the youths so that they become self-reliant. Honorable Wadrif noted that Some leaders discourage youths through giving baseless information about government programs meant for youths.
Is that the young people are facing within Pakwach district. When you look at the theme for this year's celebration, it talks about scalings of the young people, the opportunities that are available for the young people. It's upon us, or the stakeholders, to identify the opportunities that are available for us.
Meanwhile, Honorable Avurjan Pachuta, woman member of Parliament Pakwach District, during the celebration cautioned parents who violate the rights of their children through forced marriages in community. Honorable Avur added that parents should support hand-skill training as this country does not depend only on white-collar jobs.
Of Committee of Public Service and Local Government. The public service, as I was growing up, was supposed and is still the biggest employer of Ugandans. And we cannot depend on white-collar jobs only. That one is a reality now. Whether you educate your children to university, they get masters. But if we don't think of skills development like the Japanese thought of years ago, then we shall continue to have huge gaps in employment.
During the celebrations, Honorable Robert Omitostin, Pakwach District Chairperson, recalled how celebrating Youth Day is important, and he expressed his disappointment to youths and other leaders who did not attend the function. Honorable Omito expressed need for State House scholarship for the youths, as this program is sometimes meant for selected individuals at national level.
Some say it no longer exists, but we know it exists. It should not be limited to high tablers, people who sit on high table. State House scholarship should be advanced even to our young people down here who are suffering because of poverty, striking background. We have a serious disease.
Honorable Martin Ujara Mapenduzi, Member of Parliament for Bandegela Ibi Division, who represented General Muhoozi Kainerugaba as the chief guest, assured the people of Pakwach District that they will forward to the government the issues raised as matters of national importance. According to Honorable Ojara, the leaders of Pakwach District raised issues of operations of Fisheries Protection Unit on Lake Albert, which is hindering livelihood of the people.
I don't want to respond to them one by one, but I want to commit that I will work very closely with your leaders so that the matters reach national level and we can find a way to push government to provide solutions to them.
The belated National Youth Day celebration for Pakwach District was under the theme Skills Development for Enhancement of Youth Opportunities. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Persons in Uganda to help make them actively raise income to transform their lives and develop their families in an event which took place in front of Moyo District.
The youths who first received skills training in different fields such as tailoring, hairdressing and saloon, carpentry and building, among others, for both boys and girls from the technical training centers within the district under the TOTI project were empowered with the necessary tools like sewing machines, hair dryers, among others, so as to start their own businesses and generate income for themselves. Mr. Menya Ayub, the Assistant Resident District Commissioner Moyo, while handing over the startup kits to the disabled youth, say disability is not inability and advise them not to be discouraged by their condition, but rather focus on what they can do for themselves so that they will learn to be at peace with themselves and live happy life.
Disability is not inability. So what I'm trying to make is, even if you have some kind of impairment that limits you in doing what others ordinarily would do in the free environment, it does not necessarily mean that if I'm not able to run 100 meters, then I cannot do something else. So meaning, you just need to find, you be comfortable with what you are and say, now that I have a limitation for ABCD, but I still have the abilities for D and C and F. So that way you will be at peace with your life and you can live a better life.
Mr. Walukawo Ambrose, the project officer TOTI project under the National Union of Disabled Persons Uganda, urged the government to consider the disabled youth in all the government programs like the Paris Development Model so that they can be able to enterprise freely and develop, saying, as the union, they can not cater for all the youths in terms of skilling them. Therefore, the government needs to come up with programs which can benefit the youth.
Our urge is that as we skill them, we really thank the government for everything that they're doing towards seeing that persons with disability are included at all levels. But we still call upon government to consider them if there are opportunities where they can serve and to support more youth, because we have more. We couldn't complete, we are complementing, but we cannot finish up all. So we urge to government that if there are opportunities in parish development model, if they can be added a 1 million, it is very good for them to buy materials so that they can enterprise, because they are already there. They are already the groups, they are also saving at the same time. So it will boost them, and then we shall improve on our earnings in the communities. If there are other programs, let them benefit, and let's continue enabling them so that they are able to be at the same level with other people.
Mr. Vukoni Robert, the chairperson Moyo District Disabled Persons Union Modipo, said there are 19 beneficiaries of the project and appeals to them to make good use of the tools they are going to receive, saying there is a tendency of some people keeping the tools they receive redundant and others tend to sell them, which is not right, and assured the beneficiaries that they will make follow-ups on the tools and warn them against selling the tools, saying once someone sells the kit, they will be forced to repay it.
And my appeal to them is not to go and keep these things idle. It has been a culture where sometimes when things are given, you go and also keep it. Others will opt to even sell, which is not the purpose of giving it. So we are going to make follow-up of all the materials that you are going to receive.
As Tololusi, a beneficiary of the project, said, she is going to make good use of the tool by getting her own business premise and setting up the hairdressing salon, which will keep generating income for herself, and lauded the union for their support.
I will get my own place, then I will get customer. After that, I will get my own money through the use of this equipment.
The National Union of Disabled Persons in Uganda, NUDIPO, has, through the TOTI project, been skilling the disabled youth with different skills so as to help them become self-reliant people who can generate income to better their lives and transform their families. The project has trained over 50 youths in different districts across the country, with the 19 beneficiaries in Moyo district being among the last lot to be empowered by the union. Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving on with our stories this evening, the Dean of Stephen's Cathedral, Goli, Venerable Ephraim Jagen Aliana, has challenged Christians to work hard so that they can educate their children. Alfred Jawok has more on the story.
The Dean of St. Stephen's Cathedral, Goli, Venerable Ephraim Jagen Aliana, has challenged Christians to work hard so that they can educate their children. While preaching to mourners who gathered at St. Henry Church of Uganda, Okoro Archdiaconary Watan Council, Zombo District, to eulogize late Emima Rutun, the founder of Mothers Union in Greater Nebi, Reverend Jagen advised the mourners to emulate the life of the deceased who educated all her children before her demise.
The Lord will give her glory, give him his glory. When the Lord sees there is something good in you, he will not kill you. Till you have finished what the Lord wanted you to do, And you go and rest for the work you have done. You will have done it effectively. Well done job. The Lord will say, come. The Lord will say, come and rest.
Meanwhile, Right Reverend Joel Obetia, former Bishop Madian West Nile Diocese, encouraged the people to always be prepared for death. According to Right Reverend Obetia, Christians should not be taken by worldly desires.
And so please, let's not be hopeless people. Let us be very hopeful, knowing that as God, the Jesus we serve, is there preparing a place for us.
However, Honorable Grace Kuchin Freedom, Senior Presidential Advisor, who was the chief mourner, advocated for unity among politicians, Christians, irrespective of religious and tribal differences.
Here we have different religions. Different tribes are here. If we say for me, I'm an Anglican, I am a Catholic, I'm a Muslim, where are we going to unite ourselves? I'm a Mahdi, I am a Lubara, I'm a Kebu. Where are we going to unite? Which point brings development? I have already told you, if there is no unity, there is no development. Let us make unity become very important issue in our lives, so that we can develop our land. When I'm going to contest in 2026, I'm going to stand or contest for unity. Because why we are lagging behind is because we don't have unity.
Yemima Orotun died at the age of 104 on 20th August 2024 at Mukono General Hospital. She was laid to rest on Tuesday, August 27th at her ancestral home Warjupatoi, Okoro Archdeaconry, Nebi Anglican Diocese. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Moving on in our stories this evening, traders dealing in motor spare parts in Arua City under the umbrella body of Arua Spare Part Motors Association are up in arms with Kevlar Motors, a Chinese firm that has been supplying them with motorcycles and spare parts for directly coming into the market. Farish Majid reports.
Traders dealing in motor spare parts in Arua City under the umbrella body Arua Spare Motors Association are up in arms with Kevlar Motors, a Chinese firm that has been supplying them with spare parts and motorcycles for directly coming into the market. The traders' concern comes at a time where the company that has been supplying them for about 5 years recently came out to establish 2 new shops in Arua City, leaving the local traders in fear of losing their customers to the purported investor. According to the traders, the direct influx of the Chinese firm in the market is going to kill their businesses. During a meeting with the purported investor to address their grievances on the 27th of August 2024, Echoni Benjamin, the General Secretary of Arua Spare Motors, says the establishment of the 2 shops in Arua City threatens their local businesses.
As you are aware, Kevlar company has established 2 direct sales shops in Arua City, directly competing with our members who have been purchasing products from your company. We understand that business growth and expansion are essential, but we cannot ignore the impact of your direct sales operations on our members' businesses.
Similarly, Agup Mamvayo Asha, the director of Abba Motors, is now living in fears over the future of his business.
So we were first told that most investors are supposed to be in Kampala, they open in warehouses so that our people go and buy from them, then they come and develop themselves. That is the area where we individuals can develop from the investors. But the investors' involvement in direct sales in some small places is a dissatisfaction for us. We know that our future already is doomed. We will not be able to pay our children to school. We will not be able to cure other diseases, it means treatments, and we will completely be rendered useless. So which means we have failed to know the purpose of investors in our country.
However, Min Tiger, An official from Kevlar Motors rejected the allegations of establishing the shops to sell spare parts.
In Arua, we have the shop, right? The new shop. It's not for spare. I don't know, somebody is in the spare to watch. Maybe nobody to watch inside. Yeah. Inside is only the tuk-tuk, no spare. The spare is for our service, you know? The tuk-tuk sales after service. It's clear? This question, everybody have some problem? So if some guys is worried about this for the spares or tuk-tuk, no need to worry about this.
As we discussed with our bosses, for them they said their purpose is not to bring spares to Arua. Their purpose is to expand the market for their tricycles. Since they are in the business and they are in competition with the consumption company, so they want to be together. They want to do business together with the people of Arua, so that when they create a big market for spares, or when people buy, a lot of people buy spares for, tricycles for Kevlar, it also gives the people of Arua opportunity to buy more spares of that tricycle, so that they really also increase, their sales also increases.
The dissatisfied traders now appeal to the company to close the two shops established in Arua City in order to allow their businesses to thrive.
And you take this report to the director of Kevlar and tell them we are still together with them. Our shop, which is in Arua, it is still Kevlar shop. They should close their shop.
Madira Jimmy, a legal officer with Uganda Chamber of Commerce Arua City branch, implored the investor to heed the demands of the traders.
I would ask you kindly to take those recommendations, go and have a discussion over them, involve a team from here and also from Chamber in your discussions. The idea is to have a very healthy business relationship in order to avoid, because there is a lot of acrimony in direct dealing. We had a BAT here, it went into direct billing. After 2 years, BAT had to close in Arua here and run away.
Yeah,
they did not
billions of the
they ran away because of direct dealing. So we still have a big business potential in this place. And you can expand it by other methods, like he has proposed, by franchise, by setting up sales targets, by appointing local agents, and so on. You can exploit all this. It will also minimize for you cost of doing business directly in the market.
Investors and local businesses in Uganda are protected by the Investment Code Act of 2019 as the guiding legal framework, with provisions on licensing, incentives, and priority sectors, among others. Farish Majid, Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile TV, Nalcast.
This is West Nile Television. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. I can confirm to you there is no any other single day which will pass minus anything happening in the world of sports. I can confirm to you so many things continues to transpire in local stories and also national, continentally, and also in international sports. I can confirm to you very soon the ongoing summer transfer window will be shutting down, and the clubs are preparing to see that they reinforce the squad as the season still continues in international sports. But in Ugandan football, I can confirm to you very soon the season will also be commencing, and someone might be thinking about when the finals of Super 8 is going to be played. I can confirm to you over the weekend, this coming weekend, you will be expecting the final of That's the FIFA Super 8. And then after that, the preparation will still continue ahead of the new season of StarTimes Uganda Premier League, FIFA Big League, Regional League. It continues up to the lower leagues in Ugandan football. But before we talk about the other breaking stories, I can confirm to you the two Ugandan clubs, that's Airtel Sitara and Sports Club Villa, they are no longer into the continental football after being knocked out. Meanwhile, for the team of Sports Club Villa, they were actually knocked out by a side from Ethiopia called CBA. Meanwhile, for the team of Airtel Sitara in the CAF Confederations Cup preliminary round, they were knocked out by the side from Libya, where Muhammad Sabani Jagason is playing for, called Al Hilal. Let's drop that one there before I give you how things transpired yesterday night in UEFA Champions League last preliminary round, and also the game set to be played tonight in EFL Cup. Let's first take a look at some of the breaking stories that are making headlines in the world of transfer. I can confirm to you one of the newly promoted sides called Ipswich Town. They have already completed the signing of Luton Town winger, a player in the names of Dozo Ogbene, for £80 million. And this player has signed a 4 years contract with the team of Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, so far they have played 2 games, losing both of them. At first, they were beaten by Liverpool, and then recently they were hammered by Manchester City. Now they are looking for a way of how they can actually reinforce the squad such that they avoid relegation. Away from that story, Leicester City, this is now in ladies football, they have completed the signing of France Youth International, a player called Sana Tozenonte. And this one has been at just a lesser price, and he has so far had 36 appearances for France youth national team, scoring 6 goals and scoring 10 goals rather, and providing 6 assists. That is the player for you. Let's leave that story about Foxes and we talk about Liverpool. Liverpool, as I speak right now, they are at the verge of completing the transfer of Italy and the Juventus winger Federico Chiesa, and they have already agreed 10 million euros for the signature of the winger. That's Federico Chiesa for you. Still at Anfield, Liverpool have also agreed £29 million deal for Valencia custodian. Custodian, I am talking about the goalkeeper. The name of the goalkeeper is Georgi Mamadavsil. This is the goalkeeper. Liverpool, they have agreed deal for £29 million is of course the fee Liverpool is going to pay. Away from that story, and also one of the shocking breaking stories in the world of transfer. This one is at Manchester City in relation to what is happening in Saudi Professional League. The biggest story is all about João Cancelo already moving to Saudi Professional League, and this player to me, he has suffered at the camp of Manchester City, no playing time, being sent on loan to Barcelona, coming back, still no playing time. Finally, is moving to Saudi Professional League to play for a club called Al Hilal. That's João Cancelo for you. Let's leave those stories there, and we now talk about some of the fixtures here and there before I give you the games to be played tonight in EFL Cup, whereas in Carabao Cup. Let's first take a look at what is happening in the last qualifying rounds of the UEFA Champions League. I can confirm to you tonight games are set to be played. Karabag is taking on Dynamo Zagreb, and Dynamo Zagreb is leading Karabag by 3-0. They won in first league 3-0. That's what I mean. And then Crvena Zvezda, as Partizan Belgrade, will be taking on das Bodo. As I speak right now, Bodo is leading das Crvena by 2-1, and Slavia Prague is taking on Lille. And Lille won rather first league by 2-0. And lastly, Slovan Bratislava, that comes from Slovenia, will be finalizing the night with a team called Midtjylland, that comes from Denmark, and the first league of that encounter ended 1-1. And some teams played yesterday night. As I speak right now, they already through, waiting for their opponents in the group stages, which shall be done next week. And Galatasaray, surprisingly, we are knocked out in the preliminary round by Young Boys, winning by 1-0. First league, they also won. That means in aggregate, Galatasaray being knocked by 4-2. Meanwhile, Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg of Austria, went on to play out a 1-1 draw with a team called Dynamo Kiev, that comes from Ukraine. And the team Salzburg winning by 3-1 in aggregate, because first leg ended 2-1 again in favor of Salzburg. And lastly, Sparta Prague, that comes from Czech, we are 2-0 winners over Malmo FF, that comes from Sweden. First leg was also 2-0 in favor of Sparta Prague. That means demolishing aside Malmo FF of Sweden 4-0. Sparta Prague through, Salzburg through, then Young Boys through. Leaving that one there, finalizing everything with what is happening. EFL Cup coming tonight. Wales will be having a date with Burnley. Wimbledon, meanwhile, welcomes Ipswich Town. Southampton will be locking horns with Cardiff. Meanwhile, for Colchester, they will have to test the hostility of Brentford. Meanwhile, Wycombe will be taking a trip again to Wales to take on Swansea City. West Ham will have to maintain London Stadium as the tussle it out with Bournemouth. And the last game to be played tonight will be an affair, English Premier League affair. In fact, an affair for the teams that are playing in English Premier League. Magpies will be taking a trip away to Nottingham Forest. I mean in Newcastle, having a trip away to Nottingham Forest. Let's close the book there and we open it until tomorrow.
Thank you, Rocco Benson, for story, for yet again another Nilecast sports news and sports highlights. Viewers, that marks the end of the Nilecast on Union West Nile Television. Thank you always for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast on Union West Nile Television. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, only on the Nilecast News Bulletin. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.